Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers, so if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. Now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, as y'all know, with all this Diddy stuff going on, mostly everyone was waiting for the infamous person to speak up, being that he has been outing Diddy for the past few years, and he finally did. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue, they have a dope platform, and they was the first ones to get a response from the man himself, Gene Deal. Now, Gene Deal has responded to Diddy's house being raided by the feds and Homeland Security, and honestly, I thought Gene Deal was going to be more so like, I told y'all so, y'all should have listened to me, throughout the whole interview, because he definitely had the right to do so. However, Gene Deal made a lot of good points and actually pointed out some weird behavior that was performed by the feds themselves, just like how I explained previously. Now, the good thing about Gene Deal is he doesn't only have a lot of information on Diddy, but being that he was once Diddy's security guard, Gene Deal seems very genuine when he speaks, very insightful, speaks clearly, and always says the stories the same way. It don't change. Also, when it comes to law enforcement, Gene is very privy when it comes to the laws and what you can and cannot do. As y'all also know, I think Gene is or was a former parole or probation officer, so he knows his stuff. With that being said, I would like to go over a few key points Gene made about the whole raid with Diddy, and I want to know what y'all think about this. Now, I'm sure Gene will put out his own videos, but as of right now, the only one I've seen is the interview he did with the Art of Dialogue. Now, also, Gene Deal seems like he wasn't really against Puff, which was kind of, surprising to me, because he mentions how he disliked the way law enforcement cuffed Justin and King Combs, because he feel if it was anybody else, and by that, y'all should know what I mean by somebody else, but if it was somebody else's kids, they would have never put them in handcuffs and went that far. At the end of the day, the handcuffs was just a scare tactic, being that these kids weren't involved in anything Diddy is accused of, nor does he believe any of them have any type of criminal history. So he believes they should have been taken out, placed on the ground, showing full compliance and no threat, and that's pretty much it. Now, Gene Deal says that we seen them raiding his house because that's a result of whatever the police have. They feel it was efficient enough to go to the judge and ask for a search warrant, and then that's left up to the judge. Once they prove to the judge that their reasoning is valid for whatever reason, the judge approves it, and then that's when we see the raids. But he says in order for the judge to approve it, it means that they had to have more than enough strong evidence to get that clearance. Whether it's a witness, surveillance, whatever it is, at that point it's beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, what Gene Deal describes that he was surprised about was about the way they came to raid Diddy's house using a tactical unit when he was mainly just accused of sex crimes. So for y'all that don't understand, the tactical units are mainly used for combat, not something like sex crime. They'll come if they want to raid like El Chapo or one of these other drug kingpins' houses, but somebody that's accused of sex crimes, it is a little off. So why is it that they decided to execute their search warrant with a tactical team? What was the grounds of using a tactical unit? But I'll get back to that. Now, Gene Deal also mentions the preparation and money it took to execute these searches, being that they simultaneously hit properties of Diddy in LA, New York, and Florida. So he explains how many law agencies was included on top of the money spent to do it from taxpayers' money, and noted that they wouldn't waste money or time like that if they didn't seriously feel that they have something or wanted to find something, which was a good point. I totally forgot the efforts it takes to execute a multi-state raid like that, because it takes time, it takes manpower, which we learned was involving more than one law enforcement agency, and it also takes money. But yes, your taxpayer money to be exact. So whatever they was after, if they came up empty-handed, it'll be a complete waste. In the videos we've seen on social media, it appears that they came out of Diddy's house with boxes, looking as if they got what they came for. But don't be fooled. If you know anything about raids, when they come to get you with a search warrant, they're liable to take anything for evidence. They'll take your laptops, desktops, Xbox, PlayStation, flash drives, hard drives, phones, TVs if they have a smart TV, anything that can hold data. Now, just because they came out with boxes, does that mean that they got what they was there for? No. But they're not going to tell us that just yet, because it'll seem like they failed with their raid. Now, another good point Gene Deal made was that even if they do find like a firearm or something in the house, he doubts Diddy is going to go down for it because Diddy doesn't put anything in his name. It's either under a business name or one of his kids. And Gene will know this because, like I stated before, Gene was pretty close to Diddy doing security for some time, so he would know. And Diddy's not the only person that does that. Most of these guys that actually have businesses and they're big executives and stuff, they never have anything in their name. Nothing personal, everything is in their business, because not only is it like a tax write-off, but at the same time, if anything goes wrong, they could just close that business and then start a new one like it's nothing. But anyway, he mentions that the mule that they arrested at the airport with Diddy could potentially be a star witness, whereas if he decides to flip and cooperate, pinning Diddy to any drug charges that they may have had on Diddy, then they may got him there. And if you look at that guy, Brendan Paul, he looks like he isn't fit to do so much as a second in prison. So I'm sure if they get in his head enough, he just may crumble. Who knows? But that is how the feds play. They'll get to those around you first by finding the weakest link. So by the time they reach you, they already have what they need to actually build a case. And it's looking like the mule, Brendan Paul, just may be the weakest link. We may have to just wait and see what may come out of this, but my prediction is if they do get anything, 9 times out of 10, it's going to come from Brendan Paul. But if I'm not mistaken, Brendan Paul isn't involved in any of the SEX crimes, just on the drug behalf. So they might just get him on that. However, here's another interesting point that Gene Deal brought up during his interview as well. I don't know how true this is because it wasn't known to the public or any knowledge of mine, but Gene Deal being who he is, he actually has ties to the source, so he would know. And Gene says that it was a time that Diddy was actually a confidential informant himself for an FBI agent back in the day. I don't put it past him. Now, Gene proceeded to state that maybe that's how Diddy was able to dodge all these cases for as long as he has throughout his career, because if you think about it, Diddy has been heavily involved or somehow associated with a lot of cases throughout his career and never received jail time. It was his association with BMF and Jacob the Jeweler. Then it was the situation where his security Wolf was shot and killed coming out the club. Then it's the Biggie death, Tupac death, the shooting that took place with Sean in the club, Keith D, Kid Cudi, and the whole arson on his car allegedly. These are all situations where Diddy was somehow associated with it, but never properly charged or sent to prison for his involvement. Therefore, it seems like every dog got his day, and it's just Diddy's day. Now, what Gene Deal is saying, maybe whatever FBI agent that he was tied to for his work of being a confidential informant, maybe they parted ways, maybe the guy passed away, maybe he don't have as much pull as he had before, and maybe this is why we're starting to see Diddy and this whole situation crumble, because he's no longer protected. Keep in mind, this is just a theory of Gene's, and like I said, he exposed that Diddy was allegedly a confidential informant back in the days. I didn't know, but that would explain, Diddy getting through or getting away from a lot of situations that we thought he was caught up in throughout his career. But let me say this, y'all. You don't get as far as Diddy did, becoming a billionaire or close to it off the music industry, and not be tied to any weird stuff within that whole entertainment industry. It just don't happen. This is why you see guys that's been in the game for years that has had hit records, but they just can't seem to get over that hump where they become international superstars. It's like they hit a peak and stay there coasting for the rest of their career, right? I've mentioned Fabulous, I've mentioned Jadakiss, and there's a few other rappers or just artists, period, that they hit a peak in their career and it's like they don't go nowhere after that. They just coast. And we wonder why. But like Nori said, if you want it bad enough, there's doors that you could go through. And the rest is totally up to you. So with that being said, here's what I want to do. I'm going to play a news clip I want you guys to pay very close attention to that covered the whole Diddy raid on his mansions. Peep what they said, right? I feel people are misinformed or maybe confused by the message I tried to convey in my last videos, but I'll play this quick news clip and then express my points after. Y'all check this out.
His freak-out parties. In attendance were celebrities, politicians, athletes, international dignitaries like British royalty, Prince Harry, and music label executives. Lil Rod claimed some of the biggest names in the recording industry sponsored these parties with sex workers, drugs, and underage girls.
Now pay attention, right? Let's be real here and let's be totally honest. Do they care about these sex crimes that Diddy been accused of? No. You know why? Because everybody have their weird fetishes to where a lot of these people in that industry, they doing the same exact thing. That's not what they care about, right? My point this whole time is Diddy has something in his possession that may be a threat to someone powerful within that industry or Congress or wherever. For some of y'all that didn't know, Diddy has tied to a case involving Obama and Leonardo DiCaprio that also involved the Fugees member that was exposed for being an undercover FBI informant, right? Do y'all remember that one? Y'all do your research on that. If I get into it here, we'll miss the whole point of this video, so I'll probably do another video based on that. But anyway, my theory is that Diddy has something, whether it's blackmail worthy or not, he has something that they want from him, and this is why they're going as hard as they are. If you pay attention to the news clip, they focus on these parties that he had and him having some type of blackmail or surveillance of some very powerful people, whether they're artists, athletes, entertainers, Congress. Diddy has something that these people want. That's all I'm saying. So let me make this very clear. I'm not saying Diddy isn't guilty of the charges that he's been hit with. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's more to the story, but they're using trumped up charges and social media influence to cover up the real reason Diddy is being sought after. Alright, so we're gonna leave that at that, man. After this video, I'm gonna put out 50 Cent's reaction to Diddy using his baby mother, Daphne Joy, as a sex worker. Y'all know 50 had to say something about it. It is what it is. Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. And I'm out.